All right. Hello, once again. We are back. We have a new unit, this time the urinary system. Urinary system sounds like it is what it sounds like. There's urine involved. And what is urine? Where does it come from? This is the question that we kind of are going to be answering as we scroll through the notes. Well, urine is waste, right? That's what it is. It's a waste. Where does it come from? It comes from our blood, right? So as your cells are all working, doing their thing, of course, they produce wastes, right? And these waste products from all the trillions of cells in your body um, get picked up by the blood. And it's the job of the body to remove these waste products from the blood because if they build up too high, then those waste products become toxic, right? So we're talking about extra water, for example. Extra water could be a waste product, some salts. But one of the big waste products that are produced by cells that we really need to get rid of are nitrogen wastes. All right, so we have nitrogen wastes in the form of urea that end up in the blood as a result of the cells doing work. And it's the job of the kidneys. It's the kidneys that receive the blood, filter the blood, removing the wastes, right? So urine is actually produced in the kidneys. Okay, so as the blood goes into the kidneys are like a filter for the blood, pulling all these waste products out, the water, the salts, the urea, and storing them in the bladder. All right, so there's other body systems that get rid of waste, right? Like the integument system. When we are sweating, you're getting rid of the very similar waste products: water, salt, even traces of urea. Of course, when we eat food, whatever we don't absorb gets released or defecated. So that's the job of the digestive system. That's a completely different kind of waste. Those wastes are not produced by the body. It's just we're putting food in and some of it's coming out, right? Completely different. The lungs are an important excretory organ because they're releasing carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is produced by the cells, gets picked up by the blood, but carbon dioxide isn't released in the kidneys, it's released in the lungs. Where the kidneys, these are the major organs for urination, or they're also the major organs for the urinary system, right? So they are collecting the nitrogen waste and removing it from the blood. If we look at the kidneys, we have two kidneys. From the kidneys going down to the bladder, we have two ureters. So here's the right kidney over here, and here's the left kidney over here. And then going down, we have the ureters, or the ureters, however you want to pronounce it, and they lead to this stretchy sac. This is the bladder, and this is where the urine is stored. And then when the urine fills the bladder leaves the body through this tube, which is called the urethra. All right, so these are the major organs: kidneys, the ureters, the urinary bladder, and then the urethra. All right. So what are the functions of the urinary system? Well, the major function is excretion, getting rid of those wastes. In addition to that, there are some other functions. We have to keep the blood at a very specific pH, right? So remember, the pH is a scale of acids and bases. Neutral pH is what water is, right? Which is a pH of 7. Our blood likes to be very close to 7. In fact, it's on the slightly basic side of 7, somewhere between 7.35 and 7.45. So that's where the body likes to keep its blood pH. And the kidneys help to maintain that by either releasing acetic hydrogen ions or alkaline or basic hydroxide ions into the blood, right? Or by excreting those things. So there's what's called a buffer system that helps to regulate blood pH. There's a couple hormones produced in the kidneys that influence the blood. Renin influences the blood volume. So renin is, for example, if blood volume is low, that means there's not enough liquid in the blood, right? So we have to add more liquid. When renin is produced, more plasma is added to the blood. If there's more plasma in the blood, the volume increases. It helps increase the blood pressure. Erythropoietin is a hormone that stimulates the production of erythrocytes. And erythrocytes are red blood cells. All right. So, and of course, eliminating or secreting waste products from the blood into the urine and then eliminating the urine from the bladder are very important shape. If we look at the kidneys up close, we could kind of see there's two zones. There's an outer zone, which is a little bit darker, right? That's called the renal cortex. And then inside, we see these little triangles. Where we have these little triangle things here, these little pyramids, they're actually called the renal pyramids. This whole zone in here is called the medulla, right? And then we have this middle area over here, and this is called the renal pelvis. So starting from the inside out, it goes renal pelvis, medulla, cortex. And then the whole kidney has this protective capsule on the outside, and it's called the renal capsule. Notice anything that is renal is going to be kidney related, all right? So again, if we break down just the kidney, if we slice it in half and look at it, the cortex is on the outside, and inside, deep to that, is the medulla, all right? And we have, the medulla has all those renal pyramids, if we go back. These renal pyramids here. This is all the medulla zone. Okay, we're going to stop here. Tomorrow we're going to pick it up at nephrons. Nephrons are the basic units of structure and function in the urinary system, for the urinary system. So what is the nephron doing? The nephrons are the units, and you have millions of these in each kidney. So these are the units that are taking the blood and actually filtering out the waste. All right. So tomorrow we'll look for that. All right. Bye, guys.